Hi everyone. Today we're going to build a really simple life cycle assessment model of a toothbrush from raw materials to the factory gate. Basically, what does it take to produce a toothbrush and what can we learn from that? From any page on the CarbonGraph platform, you should be able to click New LCA, create blank LCA. To get started, I'm simply going to right click and take a couple of notes about my product to keep me on track as I'm building out this first model. The first thing I'm going to do is simply right click and create some process cards to describe the actual manufacturing of this toothbrush. I know that there's bristles and handles coming together to form toothbrushes. I'm interested in producing one toothbrush, and so I need to create a basic product flow out of the right side of this card for the bristle pack that's going to be assembled into the toothbrush. Here I've defined bristle pack as one of the products being assembled into a toothbrush. And rather than thinking about bristle packs in kilograms, I'm going to set them up in units of bristle pack. One bristle pack comes together with one handle to produce one toothbrush. I'm going to do the same thing here for the handle. I don't actually need this card because they're all coming together in one unit of toothbrush. So I'll just delete this and drag my handle into the toothbrush assembly. Again, I'm going to think of handles not in kilograms, but in units of count. 1 unit of handle plus 1 bristle pack equals 1 toothbrush. The last thing to do on the right side here is to create a unit of toothbrush. Again, we're going to think in units of count, not units of kilogram. We don't actually need this process again because we're not continuing downstream any further. What I've set up so far, 1 bristle pack plus 1 handle equals 1 toothbrush is what we've said here. On the bristle pack card, something's missing. The bristle pack is equal to some form of input. And in our notes here, we know that our bristles are made out of nylon 6. So I'm going to search through our database, and there's a few different ways we can do this. We can click on this plus icon. We can right click to search and import data, or we can click on this magnifying glass, depending on where we are in the model. I'm going to look for a market for nylon 6. This reference from EcoInvent is for a kind of global average value, but I'm going to take this market for nylon 6 and connect it into my bristles. Simply drag and drop, and I know that I'm interested in 3 grams of bristles, not 1 kilogram. So I'm going to say 3 grams of bristles. That's the input on this side of the card that equals 1 bristle pack going out on the right-hand side of the card. I need to do the same thing for the handle fabrication step. 1 handle is equal to 27 grams of polypropylene that's been injection molded. So this time I'll simply click on the plus on the left side of the card, and I'm going to search for polypropylene. I know from my notes that I need 27 grams of polypropylene per handle, so I'm going to set up that side of the card. I know I also need to include injection molding because it's a fairly significant process. So again, I can click on this plus icon or the magnifying glass on the left-hand side, but we're looking for a market activity now for injection molding. So I'm interested in 27 grams of injection molding for 27 grams of polypropylene. And now what I've set up is 27 grams of injection molding plus 27 grams of polypropylene creates 1 handle of toothbrush for us. There's a few other things I can do to get this model set up to be a little bit more useful. One is I'm just going to color code them so it's a little bit easier to navigate. We tend to think of raw materials and basic manufacturing processes as purple. Fabrication steps we tend to think of as orange, and final assembly or advanced manufacturing we think of as green. There's also one piece that I'm missing from my model still, which is this 0.1 kilowatt hours of energy used in assembly. So I'm going to search and import, or if I know that I'm doing it from toothbrush assembly here, I can plug in my electricity to that side. And I know that the product's being manufactured in the Rhode Island area and that they're on the Northeast Power Coordinating Council. So I can search specifically for energy from different regions. Okay, here I've got the Northeastern grid from India, which is not what we want. But if I look a little bit further down, I can see Northeast Power Coordinating Council, US, low voltage. That's the electricity that I'm interested in using. And since I use the plus icon here, it's plugged into the model directly. We can color code this as well. Energy we tend to think of as a yellow card. And I can set up the right units here per our notes to consume 0.01 kilowatt hours of energy. The final step here is to set this as our calculation basis. By setting this card as the calculation basis, we're basically calculating the impacts in terms of the output of this card. So per one toothbrush, we can click to calculate, and we'll see what the sum of all of these impacts is to produce that 1 unit of toothbrush by clicking in the top right corner once the calculation is completed. Here we can see, 109 grams carbon dioxide equivalent, some amount of acidification, some amount of ecotoxicity. We can scroll through different characterization models like Recipe, Tracy, and a variety of others. We can see a summary of those results, and we can quickly see a Sankey diagram for climate change or any of the other dimensions we want to flip through and see where is most of the impact in our model coming from. And we can see, 38.5% is coming from this market for polypropylene here, which is, significant. It might be an opportunity for us to reduce. So that's our first LCA model that we've built. It's not very comprehensive. We're looking at a few materials. We're ignoring transportation and warehousing and packaging, but it lets us start investigating our product. In the next session, we're going to add some parameters and be able to run scenario analysis on this product and start asking even more important questions as we work towards our reduction roadmap.